So here comes the former London Knight Jr. Patrick Kane on Hasek. Scores! You're watching the future of the Chicago Blackhawks right there.
Dale Talon's team will pick in the top 3 for the 3rd time in the last 4 years, but this is the first time in the history of the National Hockey League draft that the Chicago Blackhawks have had the first overall selection. And Doug, you get the sense this is a crucial time for the Blackhawks.
This historic pick, first time ever the Chicago Blackhawks have had the first pick, and we proudly select from the London Knights, the Ontario Hockey League, Patrick Kane.
Chicago!
I don't know what to say, boys. We love you, Chicago! What a crowd, baby! What a crowd! This place is on fire!
Middle comes Brian Campbell heading for the net. Patrick Kane shoots, he scores! Troy Brouwer holds the puck in. Bounced on Mitchell, a wraparound, Kane scores! Ryan to center. Here's Kane with Taves. Kane, backhand shot, he scores!
Quarter to go. Patrick Kane, nice move to shake in. Kane up the wing. Backhander, he scores! Patrick Kane! Into the outside by Sharp. Net empty. Extra attacker. Shot by Taves. Score! Kane! Here's another chance for Chicago. Net empty. Score! And the double back to Ryan Fine. If that goes center, score! Comes Chicago 2-on-1. And the pass. Drive by Keith. Get it around in front. Puck that score. Kane. And a save made by Rath. Rebound tucked in front. Score. It's Kane again.
Shot going to the net. Here Kane will shot. He scores.
Along with Sharp. Kane. In around Brodin. Backhand shot, scores. What a goal by Patrick Kane.
Bounces out in front of Bergala. Loose puck here for Kane. He scores! Patrick Kane! What hands? He ends it.
Holds. Kane now carries out in a high slot. Kane with a shot. He scores!
Wins this clean, might go right on net.
Kane scores!
Patrick Kane, Showtime, Kaner, the American Sniper. If I tried to fit every clutch goal, every unforgettable moment he's had throughout his career into this intro, we'd be here for about 20 minutes. So let's get going. Has there ever been a player with more clutch genes in his body? Has there ever been a better American-born talent to lace up the skates? In a recent video of mine, we marveled at Pavel Datsyuk, the Magic Man whose highlight reel feels like something out of a dream. But Patrick Kane? Kane is right there alongside him. He's not just a star who dominated the game. He's the player who sparked a fire in a generation of American kids, inspiring them to pick up a stick, hit the rink, and fall in love with hockey. Patrick Kane has a gift that feels almost otherworldly. Much like Datsyuk, Kane has a knack for bending the pace of the game to his will, grabbing the attention of fans every time the puck finds his stick. Every time Kane gets the puck, even to this day, you almost expect something magical to happen. Though he may be one of the smallest players on the ice, he moves with a command and grace that seems to defy physics, blending sharp precision with an unshakable calm. Kane has an effortless flair and confidence to his play that just sets him apart. The moment Patrick Kane takes control of the puck deep in his own zone, the energy shifts. He takes off in an instant, weaving through the ice with a blend of speed and finesse that leaves the defenseman scrambling to react. For opposing blue liners, facing Kane in the 2010s was like standing before an oncoming storm. Unpredictable, electrifying, and impossible to contain. At full speed, he weaves through opponents as if they're standing still, pulling off moves that seem almost impossible, leaving fans and defenders alike shaking their heads in disbelief. It's in those one-on-one moments that Kane truly shines, using his quick hands and sharp instincts to turn narrow openings into golden opportunities. What sets Kane apart isn't just his speed, but his vision. An innate ability to see the game 2 steps ahead. The second he enters the offensive zone, defenders face an impossible choice. Challenge him and risk being burned by his speed, or back off and watch him pick them apart. Just that little bit of extra space is all Kane needs. He might unleash his signature wrist shot, his lethal backhand, or thread a pinpoint pass to a teammate no one else even noticed. It's why his highlight reels are overflowing with jaw-dropping goals and moments. And then there's the spinorama, a move Kane has turned into his own, inspired by the great Dennis Savard. It wasn't just for show either. Kane's spinoramas delivered, often ending in a goal or an assist that felt more like art than athletics. Beneath all the highlight reel moments, Kane's game is a masterclass in intelligence and instinct. His exceptional hockey sense allowed him to anticipate plays before they unfold, almost as if he's seeing the game in slow motion. Kane has always seemed to know exactly where to put the puck, reading not just the defense but his own teammates' positioning with almost otherworldly awareness. For about 15 years, this selfless style of play shaped Kane into one of the league's most well-rounded players, effortlessly blending goal-scoring brilliance with elite playmaking vision. What truly made Kane stand out, though, were his hands. Quick, soft, and remarkably precise, weaving his way through defenders, threading passes that shouldn't exist, and sending saucer feeds over sticks. Patrick Kane makes the impossible look effortless, turning the extraordinary into something that feels routine, much to the amazement of fans and the frustration of opponents. And when it comes down to the shootout, let's just say that's Kane's trump card. His calm, unpredictable approach makes him a goaltender's worst nightmare. Sometimes he'll blaze in with speed and a flash of deception. Other times he'll slow it down, dangling with the puck while leaving the goalie frozen in place. At his peak, no winger in the NHL could match Patrick Kane's electric blend of speed, creativity, goal scoring, and vision. In a league where the best playmakers typically occupy the center position, Kane stood out as a rare winger who could bury a highlight reel goal on one shift and set up a perfect assist on the next. And come playoff time, Patrick Kane thrived under pressure. His confidence and flair turned every high-stakes playoff game into the Patrick Kane show. Year after year, a player who seemed to redefine greatness. To many, he's not just a star, but the greatest American-born hockey player to ever lace up the skates. So sit back, boys. I've been waiting for this one. It's time to deep dive into the legend of Showtime, Patrick Kane, a name that will echo through hockey history forever. Patrick Kane's journey begins in Buffalo, New York, where he was born on November 19th, 1988, to Donna and Patrick Kane Sr. From the start, hockey seemed to call to him. His father, an enthusiastic Buffalo Sabres season ticket holder, made attending games a family ritual. It was during one of these trips to the arena that a young Patrick unknowingly made his first appearance in the hockey world. Caught in the background of Sylvain Turgeon's 1995 Pinnacle trading card, a fitting nod to his future in the sport. As he grew up, Patrick looked up to players like Pat LaFontaine and Joe Sakic, captivated by their grace, skill, and ability to lead on the ice. By the time he was 7, Patrick's passion for the game had taken root, and his father, eager to support his son's dream, transformed their basement into a miniature hockey rink. With makeshift boards and nets, that basement quickly became Kane's training ground. Day after day, he practiced there, sharpening his stick handling and perfecting his shot. As Patrick grew, so did his skills. But it was his time at hockey camp with renowned coach Darryl Belfry that truly elevated his game. Belfry's keen eye and innovative methods pushed Patrick to see the ice differently, refining his vision and playmaking instincts, skills that would later become hallmarks of his style. Patrick's journey began with the Buffalo Saints U14 AAA Hockey Club, where his natural talent was impossible to miss. Word of his skill soon traveled, catching the eye of Donnie Harkins, head coach of Michigan's renowned honey-baked U16 AAA hockey team. Harkins saw something special and personally recruited Patrick, setting the stage for a life-changing decision. At just 14 years old, Patrick left the familiarity of Buffalo behind, heading to Hockeytown to join Honey Baked for the 2004 season. He would live with former NHL star Pat Verbeek, someone Patrick would later credit as both a mentor and a driving force behind this move. It wouldn't take long for the bold choice to pay off. Honey Baked delivered a dominant 66-3-1 season, and Patrick was nothing short of sensational, racking up 83 goals and 77 assists. His standout year with Honey Baked didn't go unnoticed. The London Knights selected him in the 5th round of the 2004 OHL Midget Draft. But instead of heading straight to the OHL, Patrick opted to join the United States National Team Development Program, which was also based in Michigan. It wasn't an easy road at first. Standing smaller than most at just 5'10", Patrick was once written off in a scouting report as a little meek with a body of a 12-year-old. Determined to prove his doubters wrong, he would lean into the development program's rigorous training and skill-focused program. Over the next 2 years, Kane sharpened his game and strengthened his body. Reflecting later on how transformative the experience had been, the program really focuses on improving your body, he said. You get a lot of practice time, and you really learn how to play the game and how to treat yourself. During the 2006 season, Patrick emerged as a force to be reckoned with, leading the national team development program in scoring with an outstanding 102 points. In doing so, he shattered the program's record at the time, which was previously held by Phil Kessel. The following year, Kane would join the London Knights for the 2007 OHL season. There, he joined forces with future NHL players Sergei Kostitsyn and Sam Gagner to form one of the most electrifying lines in junior hockey at the time. The trio lit up the league, combining for a jaw-dropping 394 points. Patrick himself was unstoppable, appearing in 58 games and racking up 62 goals and 83 assists. His dominance would carry over into the playoffs, where he added another 31 points in 16 games. Although the Knights' playoff run came to an end in the conference finals against the Plymouth Whalers, Kane's performance left a lasting mark. By season's end, Patrick's 145-point total stood as one of the most impressive rookie performances in CHL history. As the 2007 NHL entry draft approached, all eyes were on a young phenom, Patrick Kane, whose electrifying skills had the hockey world buzzing. At the time, the Chicago Blackhawks were a franchise in turmoil, only 3 years removed from being branded as the worst in professional sports by ESPN. Once a team with a proud tradition, the Blackhawks had fallen from grace, struggling to regain any semblance of their former glory. But change was in the air. The year before, Chicago had selected Jonathan Toews, a rising star who sparked a flicker of hope in the hearts of fans desperate for a new era. The Blackhawks were on the cusp of a turning point, one that would forever change the trajectory of the team. Ranked as the top North American prospect by NHL Central Scouting, Kane was a natural choice for the Blackhawks, who wasted no time using their prized first overall pick to bring him aboard. Patrick Kane's journey in the NHL began on October 4th, 2007, the Chicago Blackhawks faced off against the Minnesota Wild. In the midst of the electric atmosphere, Kane took the ice for his first game in the league. Just 2 days later, the young forward gave everyone a preview of what the next 15 years would look like. In a game against the Detroit Red Wings, Kane not only recorded his first assist, but also recorded the decisive shootout goal against the legendary Dominik Hasek, securing the win for the Blackhawks. His first official NHL goal came shortly after, on October 19th, when he fired a perfect shot past Colorado goalie Jose Theodore. Kane's debut season was a revelation. By November 2nd, his incredible performance had earned him the NHL Rookie of the Month honor for October, having registered 5 goals and 11 assists in just 12 games. As the season wrapped up, Kane had firmly established himself as Chicago's guy, finishing atop of the rookie scoring charts with a remarkable 72 points. In June, he was honored with the Calder Trophy as the NHL's Rookie of the Year, edging out teammate Jonathan Toews and Nicholas Backstrom of the Washington Capitals. Kane's meteoric rise, coupled with the Blackhawks finishing above 500 for the first time in 6 years, was a clear sign that something special was brewing. The following 2009 season brought a surge of energy to the Chicago Blackhawks, with Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews stepping up as crucial leaders and helping steer the team back into the playoffs. Kane was in top form during the regular season, racking up an impressive 70 points in 80 games. In the opening round of the playoffs, Kane played a key role in helping the Hawks defeat the Calgary Flames in 6 games. However, it was in the second round, especially during Game 6 against the Vancouver Canucks, that Kane truly left his mark.
Heading for the net. Patrick Kane shoots, he scores! Holds the puck in, bounced on Mitchell, a wrapper, Kane scores! Kane with Toews. Kane backhand shot, he scores!
Patrick Kane recorded the first hat-trick of his career in a thrilling 7-5 win. The victory not only secured the series, but also sent the Blackhawks to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 1995. Kane later reflected on his performance, admitting that he was fired up, and fueled by a comment from Canucks defenseman Willie Mitchell, who had remarked that Kane couldn't play 5-on-5. It was a classic case of trash talk gone wrong, something opponents would come to learn time and time again. When it comes to Showtime, it's best not to wake up the beast. Kane's first playoff campaign was remarkable. In 17 postseason games, Kane recorded 9 goals and 5 assists, racking up 14 points in total. Despite his individual success, the team's playoff run came to an end in the Western Conference Finals, where they were outmatched in 5 games by the defending champion Red Wings. Even so, Kane's stellar performance was a clear indication of what was to come. However, shortly after, Kane's journey would take an unfortunate turn. Off-ice incidents would begin to cast a shadow over his reputation. One particular misstep would stand out, a foolish moment that he would soon regret. But rather than letting it define him, Kane chose to grow from the experience, proving that this immature mistake wouldn't hinder his development as a player and a person. The incident in question: a drunken 20-year-old Patrick Kane and his childhood friend getting into an altercation with a cab driver over a 20-cent fare. While there's no excuse for this behavior, it was a mistake that Kane would learn from, and in time, it would become just a strange chapter in his career. Following Kane's 10-7 of a cabbie, just after the incident, he found himself on the cover of NHL 10. At least EA Sports was nice enough to leave Kaner on the cover this time. The 2010 season marked Patrick Kane's 3rd full year in the NHL. By then, he'd already made a name for himself as a talented and reliable player, but it was this season that truly sent him on a path to becoming a legend. In hockey, greatness isn't measured solely by regular season stats. It's about what you do when the pressure is on and the stakes are highest. A player can dominate in the regular season, but if they falter when it matters most, they may be remembered as just a very good player and not one of the greats. True legends rise in the playoffs. when the intensity builds and the spotlight shines brightest. Kane understood this distinction better than most. While regular season achievements matter, it's in the heat of the postseason where a player's true character and greatness are revealed. For Kane, the 2010 season would become an unforgettable chapter in his story. Kane had an exceptional regular season, racking up 88 points in 82 games. His performance didn't go unnoticed, as he earned a spot on Team USA for the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. There, he had an unforgettable tournament, racking up 3 goals and 2 assists in 6 games, delivering a crucial assist on Zach Parise's iconic game-tying goal in the gold medal game with just 24 seconds left on the clock. Although Team USA would ultimately fall to Sidney Crosby's even more iconic golden goal, that moment would be etched in the hearts of Americans everywhere. It was a clear glimpse into Kane's ability to rise to the occasion in the biggest moments. When the playoffs arrived, it was showtime. Kane's postseason performance set the tone for what would become a decade-long standard for the Chicago Blackhawks. It was the beginning of a series of iconic playoff runs as the city was eyeing their first championship in nearly 5 decades, a triumph poised to spark a new era of greatness.
Chicago a 3-on-1. Kane with sharp. Kane scores!
Seabrook, the Taves, right circle, shoots, save, rebound, score! Patrick Kane! A short-handed goal from Patrick Kane! And he ties the score at 4! And once again, the UC is up for grabs! The Sobel right point, hammers a shot, here's also the rebound, scores! Hawks win! Hawks win! Marion Hostet's first Blackhawk playoff goal! It's a game winner in overtime!
Under center, Patrick Kane, nifty move, he's in for a chance, he scores! What a goal by Patrick Kane!
Kane moves in, he scores! Patrick Kane! Carried on by Ladd and a shot knocked down left side of the net! Score! Kane! Around it's flicked by Ladd and then went off of Coburn, on back to be taken by Campbell.
Turns, won't shoot. Kane, watched by Kimo Timonen, to the net!
Oh my, it rattled around and it kicked on back.
And now it's in the net, they score! It's in! They score! It's in! The Hawks win the Stanley Cup! Back of the net, it's in the back of the net. The Hawks have won the Stanley Cup! Blackhawk fans around the world, you've endured 49 years of frustration, but your patience has finally paid off. Lord Stanley's new address is Sweet Home Chicago. The Chicago Blackhawks have won the Stanley Cup. They've won the Stanley Cup. It's over. They did it. In Philadelphia, they celebrated, bud. How about that? They've won it. The Hawks win the Stanley Cup. The Chicago Blackhawks are Stanley Cup champions.
Talk about unforgettable. From his short-handed game-tying goal against the Predators to unveiling the now legendary Heartbreaker celebration against the Canucks, while debuting his famous playoff mullet, Kane quickly became a Chicago sports hero. He then went on to form one of the most iconic lines in Blackhawks history, alongside Captain Sirius and Big Buff. And of course, it was Patrick Kane who scored the overtime winner, sealing Chicago's first Stanley Cup in 49 years. At just 22, that goal made him the youngest player ever to clinch the Stanley Cup in overtime, surpassing none other than the legendary Bobby Orr. By 2010, Kane had already cemented his place in hockey history as an all-star, a silver medal Olympian, and a Stanley Cup champion, recording 28 points across the Blackhawks' 22 playoff games. After the Chicago Blackhawks' unforgettable triumph in 2010, they were faced with a new set of challenges in 2011. The team had to navigate salary cap restrictions, which led to the departure of several key players, including Dustin Byfuglien, Andrew Ladd, and Antti Niemi. Despite the changes, Patrick Kane continued to shine, posting 27 goals and 46 assists for 73 points in 73 games. On March 14, 2011, Kane reached a personal milestone, scoring his 100th career goal in a game against the San Jose Sharks. As the season wound down, Kane added another significant milestone, recording his 200th career assist in the final game of the regular season, a 4-3 loss to the Red Wings. Kane set up Hawks legend Michael Frolik for the goal, but the defeat left the Blackhawks in a weird spot, needing the Dallas Stars to lose their final game of the season to secure the last playoff spot. Luckily for Chicago, they got some help from the Minnesota Wild. Handing Dallas the L would allow Chicago to clinch the 8th and final playoff berth. In the playoffs, the Blackhawks faced the President's Trophy winning Vancouver Canucks in the first round. Kane delivered a solid performance, notching a goal and 5 assists for 6 points across 7 games. However, it was later revealed that Kane had been playing through a wrist injury, which had gone unnoticed until the offseason. Despite the injury, Kane played a crucial role in nearly helping the Blackhawks to an incredible comeback against the Canucks. Chicago came up just a goal short of completing a dramatic reverse sweep, but their valiant effort fell short and the defending champions were eliminated in the first round. By 2012, Kane had firmly established himself as one of the NHL's elites, and the Chicago Blackhawks had earned a reputation as a team that was always a tough challenge in the playoffs, even as an 8th seed. However, that year, both those reputations would face some setbacks. Across a full 82-game season, Kane recorded a career-low 66 points. Still decent numbers, but a far cry from the explosive playmaking we had come to expect from him since his breakout in 2008. His struggles would continue into the playoffs, where in 6 games, he managed only 4 assists and no goals, as the Blackhawks were eliminated by the Phoenix Coyotes in the opening round. When 2013 arrived, the Chicago Blackhawks were at a crossroads. Fans and critics alike were asking if the team's 2010 championship was just a one-off. Had we seen the best version of Patrick Kane already? What would this new season bring? Well, for a minute, there was no NHL season due to the lockout, so for the time being, Kane packed his bags and took his talents over to Switzerland, where he dominated the Swiss league alongside Tyler Seguin. It was there Kaner made a bold move, ditching his signature mouthguard, which he felt was distracting him. Once the 2013 season finally kicked off, the Blackhawks were ready to silence the doubters. The 2013 season was something special. The Blackhawks set an NHL record by starting the year off with an incredible 24-game point streak, an unthinkable 21-0-3 start. All those lingering questions from the offseason seemed to fade away as the team took flight. Patrick Kane had a massive bounce-back season. He finished 6th in Hart Trophy voting with 55 points in just 47 games. It was clear, Kane and this new-look Blackhawks team were hungrier than ever, and with that hunger came something even more impressive. In the 2013 playoffs, Patrick Kane made a powerful statement that he might just be on his way to becoming the greatest American-born player hockey has ever seen.
Circle right on him, and front, score! Patrick Kane! Here's Taves and Kane, 2-on-1, hustling back his point, up a shot, score! Patrick Kane in overtime!
Anytime? It's kind of a bad trade-off. Huh?
Up by Seidenberg, rebound save, another shot, they score! It's Kane!
Boom! Wake up the beast! Wake up the beast, baby! Should've kept your mouth shut. Should've kept your mouth shut.
Through the blue paint, drive by Keith, getting around in front, up that score! Kane! The save made by Rath, rebound tucked in front, score! It's Kane again!
Save made by Rath. Here's Ozuna drive, they hold and score! And Bowen in front of the net! On ice, here's Taves with an empty net. Moves it on the blue line, he's tripped. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Blackhawks have won the Stanley Cup! They've won the Stanley Cup for the second time in 4 seasons! The Chicago Blackhawks have won the Stanley Cup! They beat the Boston Bruins here tonight in Boston! The final score in Game 6, the Blackhawks 3 and the Bruins 2! And Lord Stanley is moving back!
Kane and the Blackhawks entered the playoffs with unstoppable momentum, capping off a perfect regular season in the Windy City. Over 23 games, he racked up 9 goals, 10 assists, and 19 points, earning the coveted Conn Smythe Trophy. Much like in 2010, Patrick Kane had an unforgettable postseason run. In Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, he scored a hat-trick with a series-clinching overtime goal that sent the Hawks to the Stanley Cup Finals. The magic continued in Game 5 of the Finals, where Kane netted 2 goals, including the game-winning shot that brought Chicago within 1 win of the Cup, along with his slick move through the defense that helped set up Brian Bickell's iconic game-tying goal just moments before Dave Bolland scored the Stanley Cup winning goal 17 seconds later. By this point, Kane had already etched his name in history as the first winger to win the Conn Smythe Trophy since Claude Lemieux in '95 and the first #1 overall pick to do so since Super Mario in 1992. Just 5 years in, Patrick Kane was putting together a Hall of Fame resume, yet the best was still ahead of him. In 2014, it looked like Patrick Kane was going to become the first American-born player to win the Art Ross Trophy as the NHL's top scorer. With 69 points in 69 games, he was near the top of the NHL in scoring before an untimely injury struck. On March 19th, Kane collided with Brandon Morrow in a regular season game against the St. Louis Blues, injuring his left leg and sidelining him for the remainder of the regular season. Despite the setback, Kane returned just in time for the 2014 playoffs, where he would make his presence felt in unforgettable ways. Kane was nothing short of sensational during that postseason, recording a team-high 20 points across 19 games, including 8 goals and 12 assists. In Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals against the Minnesota Wild, he netted 2 goals, one of which was the game winner, and cemented his Showtime nickname in the process. But Kane's playoff heroics didn't end there. He delivered some of the most clutch performances of his career. In the opening round against the St. Louis Blues, he scored an overtime goal to tie the series at 2 games apiece. In the second round, Kane clinched the series against the Wild with a nasty backhand goal in Game 6 overtime. And against the LA Kings, after assisting Duncan Keith to tie the game, Kane scored the winning goal in Game 6 to force a Game 7 moments later. Though the Blackhawks ultimately fell in a heartbreaking Game 7 overtime loss to the Kings, Kane's legend only grew. He solidified his place as one of the most clutch players of his era, and arguably the greatest American-born player the game had ever seen. That offseason, alongside his longtime teammate and friend Jonathan Toews, Kane would be rewarded with an 8-year, $10.5 million annual contract extension, an acknowledgement not just to their talent, but to their leadership, resilience, and dedication to the team. Together, they had helped build a winning culture, and this move ensured their legacies would be forever tied to the team's success. In 2015, Kane found himself facing another setback just as the season was nearing its end. While leading the NHL in scoring, he was struck by misfortune once again. On January 20th, in a game against the Arizona Coyotes, Kane reached a personal milestone, scoring his 200th NHL goal. A few weeks later, he earned a well-deserved spot at the 2015 NHL All-Star Game. By the end of his season, Kane tallied 64 points with 27 goals and 37 assists. However, on February 24th, during a game against the Florida Panthers, he was cross-checked into the boards by Alex Petrovic and injured his left clavicle. The injury required surgery, and Kane was expected to miss 12 weeks. At that point, he was still leading the league in scoring, but true to his resilient nature, Kane would make an early recovery, surprising many when he returned to the Chicago Blackhawks just in time for the start of the 2015 playoffs. By this time, Kane had solidified his status as a superstar. When the playoffs began, he would once again show why he was among the best, delivering arguably his most impressive performance to date.
Now a chance for Kane. Shoots, score! Patrick Kane ties the game for Chicago. He's back. It's clean, Michael, right on net. Kane scores! By his wipe, long toss by Keith, the turn and take by Kane. Scores! Got him over the line, a quick play, scores! Perfectly to Bickle, nudged it across to Kane. Fires it across off the skates of Kane. He got it again. Handed on for Kane. Kane able to step right by. Save it. Stop. Moving back up with Kane. Drops it to Richards. Across the Kane. He scores!
Now 5 in behind the net. Kane swings it around. Oh, and all the way down the ice it goes. For the third time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. The Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup.
Chicago had officially become a hockey dynasty, and much of that success was thanks to Showtime. When he arrived in 2007, the city was considered a laughingstock of the NHL. Just 8 years later, Kane had helped turn everything around. At only 26 years old, he had already accomplished so much, but there was still more greatness ahead of him. The 2016 season would be a turning point for Kane. It was a year that he stayed healthy and dominated like never before. He led the NHL in scoring, a feat made even sweeter with the dominant addition of rookie Artemi Panarin. Together, they formed a dynamic duo. Kane took home the Art Ross Trophy, the Hart Trophy, and the Ted Lindsay Award. As of now, Patrick Kane still holds the record for the longest point streak by an American-born player at 26 games, which ranks as the 11th longest point streak in NHL history. He also remains the only American to ever win the Art Ross Trophy.
Look at that as he played it back with a steal. And here comes Kane. He scored! And behind can be played further. A little twisting thing. Score! Out for the turn and the take by Panarin. Moving in with Kane. Got it!
With 46 goals and 106 points, 2016 was undoubtedly Kane's year, but despite all his personal success, the magic in Chicago seemed to be fading. The Blackhawks, although still formidable, fell just short in the opening round of the playoffs. The St. Louis Blues edged them out in a thrilling Game 7. Kane still had his moments, delivering yet another overtime winner to keep the Hawks season alive. His heroics nearly sparked a series comeback after the team had trailed 3-1. It was a remarkable year for Kane, but knowing the competitor he is, I wouldn't be surprised if he'd trade all those individual honors for another chance at the Stanley Cup. The 2017 season felt like another chapter in a familiar story for Kane and the Blackhawks, but when the playoffs arrived, 8th-seeded Nashville showed that Chicago was no longer the powerhouse it once was. Kane had an impressive 89 points over 82 regular season games, but in the playoffs, he managed only 2 points in 4 games as the Predators easily swept the Hawks, taking away every ounce of their former dominance. By 2018, the Blackhawks had fallen out of playoff contention for the first time in a decade, a stark contrast to the high expectations that accompanied Patrick Kane's earlier years. With just 76 points in 82 games, Kane had an off year by his standards as Chicago's playoff hopes faded. Yet Kane's worth to the team went beyond the numbers. Yes, the multi-point games were thrilling, but his value was clear in how he constantly created opportunities and contributed in ways that didn't always show up on the score sheet. And the following year, even though the Chicago Blackhawks had changed significantly, Kane continued to show that he was an elite force on the ice, capable of dominating offensively. In 2019, he reached a new career best 110 points and 66 assists, along with 44 goals. Despite being surrounded by a mediocre team, Kane was still that guy for the Hawks. It's frustrating though, because Chicago never gave him one last run with them. The team's poor management and failure to develop promising prospects played a major role in that, and we can all thank Stan Bowman for that missed opportunity. In the midst of the 2020 pandemic season, a significant milestone was reached by Patrick Kane. On January 19, 2020, in a game against the Winnipeg Jets, Kane assisted on a Brandon Saad goal, marking his 1,000th career NHL point. With this achievement, he joined an elite group of Blackhawks legends, Stan Mikita, Bobby Hull, and Dennis Savard, becoming just the 4th player in franchise history to reach this remarkable mark. And unfortunately, as of today, 2020 would be the last time fans would witness playoff hockey in Chicago. Despite the unusual circumstances of the pandemic-altered season, Kane's brilliance shone through once again in the playoffs. He recorded a team-high 9 points in 9 games, leading the Blackhawks with his performance and his leadership. His clutch play helped guide the team to a surprising victory over the Edmonton Oilers in the qualifying round. However, it was clear that this Blackhawks squad was really only in the playoffs due to the unusual playoff format. Their inevitable elimination at the hands of the Vegas Golden Knights in just 5 games underscored that reality. Despite the league being affected by the pandemic, which shortened the schedule to just 56 games, Kane finished 2021 scoring 15 goals and a remarkable 51 assists, leading the team with 66 points in those 56 games. His performance earned him a spot among the league's top scorers, finishing 5th overall in points. On February 28, 2021, Kane hit a historic milestone, recording his 400th career goal against the Detroit Red Wings, becoming only the 100th player in NHL history to achieve such a feat. Then, just over a week later, he played in his 1,000th career game, joining an elite group of just 7 players in the franchise to reach that mark. And at the conclusion of the season, Kane was honored as the best NHL player at the 2021 ESPY Awards. During the 2022 season, Kane continued to shine for the Blackhawks, appearing in 78 games and posting 26 goals and 66 assists and 92 points, tying his career high in assists. As he neared the end of his contract with Chicago, Kane reflected on his future, acknowledging that it was rare for players to spend their entire careers with one team, but expressed that it would be a privilege to do so. But as much as Kane wanted to stay and cement his legacy as the franchise's all-time record holder, the winds of change were blowing in Chicago. With new management taking over, it became clear that the team was shifting toward a new era of Blackhawks hockey, one without its two defining stars, Kane and Taves. In 2023, a season that would be defined by injury and change, Kane posted 16 goals and 29 assists for 45 points in his final 54 games with the Hawks. On February 28, 2023, Patrick Kane was traded to the New York Rangers. In 19 regular season games with New York, Kane contributed 12 points, and in the playoffs he added 1 goal and 5 assists through the Rangers' 7 playoff games that ended in a first-round loss to the New Jersey Devils. Something felt off with Showtime in 2023, and soon everyone's suspicions would be confirmed. Following the postseason, Kane underwent successful hip resurfacing surgery and faced a recovery period of 4 to 6 months. And in November 2023, Kane was back, and he signed a 1-year, $2.75 million deal with the Detroit Red Wings. Kane made his debut for the Red Wings in December 2023, scoring his first goal for the team just 2 games into his season. He enjoyed a strong stretch in late December, recording 5 goals and 6 assists during a 6-game point streak. However, a lower body injury in January 2024 sidelined him for 7 games. Kane's return to Chicago on February 25th, 2024 marked an emotional moment as he faced his former team for the first time since the trade. In a dramatic fashion, well, Showtime did what Showtime does best. And I'll just let you boys see this.
Look at this! From center ice, it's Patrick Kane in Chicago! Oh my God! Kane with the overtime winner! The Red Wings win it 3-2! The story is complete!
By the end of the 2024 season, Kane had tallied 20 goals and 27 assists in 50 games, ranking among the Red Wings' top contributors. His performance included leading the team in overtime goals and game-winning goals, earning him praise from GM Steve Yzerman, who lauded his skill, composure, and leadership. Kane's future with the Red Wings looked promising, as he signed a 1-year contract extension on June 30th, 2024. However, at 36 years old, it appears that time is catching up to the legendary forward. Still, given everything he's accomplished, it wouldn't be a surprise if Kane still has more to add to his incredible story. So while his journey may be winding down, it's clear that the tale of Patrick Kane isn't over just yet. We'll just have to check back again to see what comes next. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching my tribute to the greatest American-born player hockey has ever seen. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos just like this, and I'll see you boys in the next one.